They say family is supposed to protect you, but what if they're the ones you need protection from? My name is Olivia Barrett, and I was raised to believe that loyalty meant silence. My parents died when I was 6, and I was taken in by my mother's older sister, Aunt Miriam, and her husband, Walter. On the surface, they were the perfect guardians, respectable, wealthy, active in the community. But behind closed doors, I was a burden. They had one daughter, Sophia, just a year older than me, and from the day I moved in, I was told, "You'll never be one of us." Sophia had the newest clothes, the latest tech, ballet lessons, and weekend trips. I got leftover uniforms, cold dinners, and silence. Still, I survived. I studied hard, worked part-time jobs, and kept my head down. At 17, I earned a full scholarship to a university out of state. I thought I was free. But then tragedy struck. Aunt Miriam and Walter were killed in a car accident, and Sophia, now 19, inherited everything, the house, the assets, even my parents' life insurance money, which had somehow been redirected into their family trust when I was a child. I didn't find that out until months later, when I requested access to any legal documents tied to my parents' estate and was told the trust lists Sophia as the sole beneficiary. I was stunned. I confronted Sophia, who just laughed and said that money saved me from student loans. You should be grateful they took you in at all. That was the moment something inside me broke, not in a way that made me weak, but in a way that made me sharp. I knew I couldn't get back the childhood they stole, but I could expose the truth. I started digging. I tracked down Miriam's former financial advisor, now retired and living in Vermont. After a few awkward phone calls and some light manipulation, using my mother's maiden name, he admitted that he remembered unusual pressure from Walter to alter the beneficiaries of my parents' will. He said it felt off, but Walter was persuasive. He said it was just to simplify family finances. I asked if he still had records. He said he might. A week later, a dusty manila folder arrived at my apartment. Inside, copies of the original insurance documentation showing me as the primary beneficiary, until a form, signed when I was 8, suddenly redirected it to Miriam's family trust. That signature wasn't mine. It was traced. I needed more. I found the notary listed on the form. She had passed away, but her niece had inherited a box of old documents. Buried inside, a logbook entry from that date with no name listed under witnessed minor. It was a forgery. With that proof, I contacted a probate attorney who specialized in trust fraud. He took one look at the papers and said, "You've got a case." A big one. But it wasn't just about the money anymore. It was about the silence I had endured. So I did what Sophia never thought I'd do. I moved back to town. Quietly. Rented a small apartment. Started working as a paralegal at a local firm, not under Olivia Barrett, but under my middle name, Elise. I blended in. I started attending local charity events where Sophia liked to flaunt her inherited status. We spoke once. She didn't recognize me. The years and the hair dye had done their job. Over months, I befriended people around her, her fiancé, her business partner, her personal assistant. I learned everything. She had taken the trust money and invested it into a boutique fashion brand, one that was barely breaking even, propped up by her lies and leftover wealth. I got hired as an anonymous consultant through a shell company I created. I gained access to internal documents. The moment I found proof that she used misappropriated funds to launch the brand, I took it straight to my lawyer. The legal process was slow but brutal. A petition to reopen the estate. A motion to declare the amended trust fraudulent. Court subpoenas. Depositions. When Sophia was served, she looked stunned. Elise was gone. Olivia had returned. I walked into court and watched her try to lie under oath, but the paperwork spoke louder. Emails between her and Walter. A scanned copy of the forged signature. Even an audio recording I had secretly made of her saying, "I don't owe Olivia anything. My parents were the ones who gave her a roof." The judge ruled in my favor. The trust was dissolved. Half the estate, including the house, was returned to me. The brand collapsed. Her fiancé left her. And Sophia was ordered to repay restitution, which meant liquidating most of her assets. I donated part of the recovered funds to a scholarship in my parents' name. I turned their bedroom, now mine, into a reading room filled with photos and books they once owned. The house doesn't feel haunted anymore. It feels reclaimed. Some people inherit money. Some people inherit lies. But I took back what was mine and made sure the lies died with the ones who told them. If you believe in revenge built with evidence and patience, hit like and subscribe. We tell real feeling stories where family secrets don't stay buried, they get exhumed and rewritten every single day.